everyone. Here's a review for your final exam, first semester. I want to go through a few resources that you have on in the course to help you with this. Let's start with the graphing calculator. If you go to lessons and you go to the online graphing calculator, with this calculator it can help you to visualize a lot. Let's start with graphing an equation. Let's start with x squared. I just type in x and just click x squared over here and hit graph. Here I have the graph of x squared. Okay, this is a parent function. Why do I call it a parent function? Because there are other functions that, well, if I multiply this by a number, if I add something to it, subtract something from it, it's going to take this graph and shift it. It could shift it to the left, to the right, up, down, upside down, can squeeze it to make it look skinnier, or it could stretch it, which would make it look wider. Let's go with x squared plus 3. What will this do to the graph? It's going to shift it up 3 units. Okay, let's go back, and something else you can do. I'm going to leave x squared here so that my parent graph will stay, and I'm going to go to another function here. Let's look at another graph. Let's look at x squared. Now let's do minus 5. Well, now we know the minus 5 is going to shift this graph down, and this one is in green, so we're going to go down. There's our other graph. Same width the graph is, but it just shifted down 5 units. Okay, let's do something else. Let's go with parentheses x plus 2. This graph, this equation is in what's called vertex form. In the vertex form here, this plus 2 is going to shift it, and this plus 4 is going to shift it as well. Let's see what happens. Okay, look what happened. Plus 2 shifted my graph 2 units to the left. You would have thought right because it's positive, but it shifts it 2 units to the left, and plus 4 shifts it 4 units up. Okay, and again we can continue to play with this. Let's do a negative this time. Let's go with negative x minus 3, and this tool is great because you can sit here, and even as you're taking your test, all you got to do is you can type in some of the functions. It'll graph it for you. You just got to know how to type it in. Here, gonna hit graph, and notice here's the parent graph, the graph over here, excuse me, the translated graph. Here the negative flipped it upside down. The minus 3 shifted it 3 units to the right. The minus 5 shifted it 5 units down. Okay, and with these different variations of the graphs, you can graph several different problems that are going to be on your tests and your quizzes. And for your final exam review, there are several problems that deal with this, so remember that. Something else to note, something else to note when you're looking at the graph, some different terms. One is AOS. That's just the acronyms for axis of symmetry. Your axis of symmetry is if you could take this graph and fold it. Well, if I could take this graph and fold it, let's do this here, and if I could extend this line all the way up here, that's your axis of symmetry, which is that middle point and that middle line where you could fold the graph. And again, that's just a term that you need to remember with this. Let's pause and we'll go to the next video.